Well, we're here still logged into the Garrett County server 192.168.102.8 on our internal IP scheme. I should also point out, which I neglected to do on the previous one, the 102.6 server, that in favorites I have also set up FTP access as one of the favorite choices, and that will, clicking that, of course, will take you to the FTP server. Now you notice the address now is a network address, 102.5 on in our internal network. This is so we're looking at a separate server here now at this point. This server, the CSST FTP server, holds all of the CSST install files, all of the files that are necessary for periodic CSST updates, and all of the documentation files, and in addition to that, a separate folder for each individual CSST customer. And I'll make another video on the structure and all the contents of that server, but just be aware that in the event that you need to transfer files to or from one of the hosted CSST servers to that FTP server, which is an internal, Miles Technologies internal CSST resource, that it's typically is set up, the access to it is set up as a favorite in Windows Explorer. Other things that you can do when you're logged in as an administrator on an FTP server, if you go to Start and run the run command, TSADMIN, which you will find in the run command on almost all of our servers because I use it most frequently, brings up the Terminal Services Manager, which gives you the ability to see who's running in CSST, what their user login profile ID is, and so forth. And if you highlight one of those and right-click on it, you can disconnect it, which can be useful at times. You can reset it, which if people log out without, or if they don't log out, if they just close the remote desktop window, one of these will show as, and I don't see any in this particular instance now, but they'll show as disconnected instead of active. You can also see idle time. So if somebody's is actually active but been idle for 2 or 3 hours, you can pretty safely assume that they're not there doing anything, and you can force the session closed. The two other things that you can do with that right-click pop-up menu is send them a message. So you just click send message, and it gives you this little dialogue. You type in a message, and that then appears on their screen. They cannot communicate back to you through that methodology unless they are also logged in with access rights that give them access to this same application, TSADMIN, in which case they can send you a message by that means, but typically that's not going to be the case. The other, and probably the most important of all of these, is that you can hit remote control, and it gives you this little dialogue. Just note that control asterisk on the numeric keypad is the exit for that. And so when you say OK here, what happens to the user was a message pops up on their screen that they have to confirm, yes, we will allow this. And then you will be looking at their screen. You have interactive control, mouse and keyboard control, just as though you were doing it via BOMGAR or some other remote control methodology. This is so much faster and so much easier for the user in particular, because they don't have to do anything other than say yes when the dialog pops up in front of them. So when you're providing remote support for somebody that is running CSST on one of our hosted servers, this is by far the easiest means of getting to their screen with full keyboard and mouse control, just like you would have if you were using BOMGAR, for example. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and log out of 102.8 and log into the third of our CSST hosted servers as soon as this one clears itself out of the way. So remote desktop, and of course it comes up on my other monitor. The third one in the series is 102.2, which is here. And of course, these are stored based on usage, so if you don't see the address you want, you just have to type it in manually, obviously. I have this one set up also to automatically connect. 102.2, curious why I'm getting this morning when I don't normally connect. 102.2 has a number of hosted CSST applications on it, and it always does this, by the way. It will give you a delay of several seconds, 20, 30 seconds, while it's thinking about coming to life. That could at some point become problematic to the point of being an IT issue, but so far you just have to be patient, wait for it to come up. The CSST demo application, among other things, is on this server. And so when you get to the system desktop here as an administrator, you see the CSST Miles demo. So if you need to run CSST as a demo or a training tool or for your own entertainment and or education and or edification, whatever you want to call it, it's available to you here, and obviously you just double click and log into CSST by the normal means. However, this server is also host to all of our New Jersey customers. And so if you go My Computer, bring up Windows Explorer, which is also a little bit slow, and I'm thinking that the load on this server is actually fairly high because there are quite a few CSST installs on it. So once again, Favorites is available to you, and you notice that we do have FTP root on here, but the rest of these are customers. The one that's the demo app is the Miles CSST. So if you were to, this Miles CSST demo icon here runs the same application as if you were to go to Miles CSST and then run the CSSTX.exe. But note that there are quite a few other installations of CSST on here. Action, Atlantic Human Resources, ours, Cape Human Resources, Mercer County, Bethel Development Corporation, Camden County Community, whatever it is, Economic Opportunity, Essex County, Jersey City, Plainfield, Patterson, Union County. All of those are separate CSST installs, and you can run any one of those simply by going there and then running the CSSTX.exe. Note that, I'll spit that out, that TSADMIN is available to you here as well, and it's, again, most likely immediately available to you. Let me scroll back up. Okay, we find out that I'm the only user logged into this server at this point, which is not terribly unusual on this particular server. But that functionality would give you a list of all logged in users. The other thing that can be useful to you on servers besides TSADMIN, and this is on all of them, not just this one, is that if you scroll the window down, if need be, to get to the taskbar and right-click on the taskbar, pull up the Task Manager out of the pop-up menu, and then look at Processes, and click on the image name to put it in order by image name, you will see the CSST, potential CSST processes that can be running here. CSSTX.exe would be running, and if you have multiple users on the server running CSST at any given time, then you would see multiple copies of CSSTX.exe. We don't have any now, so that's why we're not seeing it here. And the username would be listed in the second column. Two other possibilities are executables running for and from CSST executable. The folder, the CSST root folder, would be CSSTmaint.exe and CSSTxa.exe. The maint is a maintenance utility which typically runs only under a Windows scheduled task. The CSSTxa is a special version of CSST that runs without needing login, and it also is intended for use only as after-hours unattended scheduled Windows tasks. So you can set up scheduled Windows tasks to run CSSTxa.exe, and then it in turn will run whatever specified scripts from CSST that you choose to have run, and we'll make another videotape explaining the ones that are commonly used or are in use now.